reassures roofs grant victims, and opposition sounds the alarm over fatal security force encounters. There's also sports and weather in this newscast, so please stay with us. I'll have the news in detail when we come back. Welcome back to Primetime News, and again a special welcome to viewers on onespotmedia.com as well as TVJ International in the Cayman Islands. Dream Weekend will be safe. That assurance to patrons from police who say they have enough personnel on the ground to monitor and or patrol all events over the next week into Independence Day on Thursday. Krista Campbell has that story.
Happy partygoers and even happier business operators. Police are also relieved that Dream Weekend got off to what's been described as a successful incident-free start on Thursday night.
In fact, a lot of the patrons commended the police based on the fear that they had for that White House Road, knowing that it's one way in, one way out. But we met about 2 weeks before, and we put our plan in place.
For the first time ever, the popular party series was held in Montego Bay, St. James instead of Negril, Westmoreland, and police say they've pulled out all the stops to ensure safety.
We will have all events monitored or have active police officers working there.
And so, as part of the safety plan, commanding officer for the St. James Police, Senior Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says the numbers have been beefed up and there's adequate police to patrol the space even after Dream Weekend is over.
We may be at the upper level in terms of incidents of murders across the country, but it is the safest that members of the public are feeling Montego Bay at this point in time. Coming from 2018, where we had 334 murders for the year, and we came down to 58 last year, and we're looking to either equal that or better that before the end of the year.
He adds that police from the Kingston-based Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, are also working with traffic experts in Montego Bay.
The road work that started in terms of the pipe lane that you saw along the Elegant Corridor, where concrete barriers were placed with the pipe lane that was taking place, that was temporarily paused, and we will see the entire roadway being operational now, so that allows for the free movement of traffic.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
And as businesses, especially hotels, still struggle to recover and reopen after severe damage from Hurricane Melissa, the Dream Weekend Party Series is also being hailed as a saving grace. More in this report.
Still under the heavy hand of Hurricane Melissa, 9 months after the Category 5 system barreled through the island, some hotels in the second city of Montego Bay, St. James, remain shuttered. But with popular entertainment event Dream Weekend finding a new home here, President of the Chamber of Commerce, Jason Russell, says it's giving many small entrepreneurs new hope. And so he's urging business operators to make the most of the available opportunities.
It's not Dream going to bring people to your business, you have to bring the business to the Dream patrons. There are a lot of them on the road. I see a lot of tourists walking. I see a lot of locals from out of town in the city, eating, drinking, buying stuff, last minute items, going to the beach. So it's up to us to capitalize on it. And what we see so far is good news. I see a lot of people within Pier 1 right now eating and drinking and having a good time.
For State Minister for Industry, Investment and Commerce, Delano Sivright, the party series is timely.
Dream Weekend really continues to demonstrate that entertainment is a major economic industry. It generates businesses not just for hotels, Airbnbs and restaurants, but it also provides for transportation providers, event suppliers, retailers, vendors and businesses of every size.
A lot of the major chains are still closed, but we're happy that Dream pushed on and they're filling the Airbnbs. I'm sure we would have liked to have had all the rooms back up. I'm sure we would have liked to see an extra couple thousand tourists coming, but we're working with what we have. And if last night is any indication, it's going to be a wonderful festival. And I can't imagine how next year is going to look.
And Mr. Russell says patrons are already asking about bookings for next year's staging of the event. Dream Weekend kicked off in Montego Bay on Thursday, July 30 and will end on Monday, August 3, 2026. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
You have not been forgotten. That assurance from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to hurricane victims who have yet to receive their roofs grant. He was speaking in Westmoreland on Friday, where he announced that an additional allocation will be made to the roofs program. Kimberly Petty reports.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness on a tour of narrow sites in Westmoreland on Friday. In many of the communities, some hurricane victims have complained they have yet to receive financial assistance promised under the roofs program. The Prime Minister assured that they haven't been forgotten.
So we are now going to make a further allocation that will assist a certain number of the other 50,000 who have not gotten.
Dr. Holness says over 100,000 persons were registered for the roofs grant. So far, $10 billion have been spent on just about 50,000 persons.
Half of the people who should get the grants have gotten them. The other half is now looking on and say, how you get and I have not gotten? Have I been forgotten? The answer is no. You have not been forgotten.
And so, more money is being pumped into the program.
In a few more days, you will hear from the Minister of Finance about a new allocation to the roofs program. And that allocation will start the process again. So some of you who have been going to the bank or looking for the text, you will now get.
Kimberly Petty, TVJ News.
A warning this evening: while murders are falling, deadly encounters involving the security forces are rising. Opposition spokesman on national security Fitz Jackson says Jamaica cannot trade one form of violence for another. Mr. Jackson was speaking at the Whitfield Town Divisional Conference in South St. Andrew recently.
Fewer murders, but more questions. A deadly contradiction now casting a shadow over Jamaica's crime fight. Past reports from oversight bodies and human rights groups have repeatedly raised red flags about fatal police shootings, warning that unchecked force could undermine justice itself. Now, those fears have reignited.
Last year, 344 persons were killed by the security forces. And the only other year it was higher than that was in 1985, when it was 385. 356, sorry. 356 more Jamaicans killed then, 344 killed last year, and over 50 had killed so far in this year. No, sorry, 150 so far. Sorry. No, that is is unacceptable.
A stark reality, one set of killings going down, another climbing. Opposition spokesman on national security Fitz Jackson says that trend is dangerous and fundamentally wrong.
Police can't be judge, jury, and executioner. The role of police is to apprehend suspected criminals, and our justice system allow them to prove their innocence, and if they are found guilty, the law takes its course through the courts. That's what a democratic society provides for as ours.
He warns justice cannot be delivered at the barrel of a gun, but perhaps most alarming is who is pulling the trigger.
In almost all of the cases of the fatal shootings by police, it is not carried out by the local police. It's not carried out by the local police. It is some other group of police officers involved in those activities. And that is frightening and is of great concern.
The St. Mary police need your help to find a man who escaped lockup at the Anoto Bay station on Thursday, July 30. 23-year-old A.J. Anthony MacDonald of Islington, St. Mary was charged with possession of a prohibited weapon. Police say about 5:30 Thursday morning, he escaped the lockup by removing sections of a bathroom window. They're urging him to surrender or for anyone who knows his whereabouts to call the Anoto Bay Police at 876-996-2244, 119 or the nearest police station. The police are also reminding members of the public that they can be charged for harboring a fugitive. Jamaica's political leaders are urging citizens to honor emancipation by protecting freedom and strengthening the nation. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says true freedom requires more opportunities and an end to crime and gang control. Opposition leader Mark Golding highlights the resilience of Jamaicans in overcoming hardship and making a global impact. Both are calling on citizens to reflect on their ancestors' sacrifices and help to build a more united, prosperous country. And it's now time for a break. When we come back, more local stories. Head of the Manchester Fire Brigade, Superintendent Emmerich Needham, is warning that increasing bushfires are stretching the resources and ability of firefighters to respond to fires. Ongoing dry conditions across Manchester have resulted in a number of bushfires across the parish and neighbouring Trelawney. Now, the fire chief is also urging residents to be more careful and not to burn garbage, especially now that the weather is dry and windy. He noted an increase in house fires in recent times and a shortage of water to adequately respond. The latest incident has left 5 people homeless after fire destroyed the upper floor of a 2-story 11-apartment house in Iberna near Devon Friday evening. The fire department said it received the call about 6:21 and dispatched a unit from the Christiana fire station immediately. Firefighters say a stove that was lit and left unattended caused the blaze. Two missing fishermen from Unity Valley in Montego Bay, St. James, have still not been found since going missing on Tuesday. Their family and friends say they are baffled after a team of Marine police they met while searching for the men told them the men were spotted and that they would ensure help would reach them. Kirk Wright reports.
Friends of the missing fishermen say they refuse to let up on the search for their colleagues who they have not seen since Tuesday. The two missing fishermen are among several others who left Unity Hall in Montego Bay, St. James about 5 o'clock Tuesday morning to go fishing. While searching for a good fishing spot, a boat with 3 fishermen decided to return to base because they were running low on fuel. The men, who are now missing, decided they would continue scouring the seas for fish. But later that day, John Simmons, the captain of the boat that returned to shore, says he became concerned after hours of not hearing from the 2 men he left at sea.
After that, we came in the evening. I got a call that he didn't came in, so I got worried and I came down because normally he would be in by even 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And my cousin knows how Ocean run. He knows how to come in because even he pointed me the way to come in, so I'm not sure what happened.
Mr. Simmons say when other fishermen went to sea on Wednesday in search of the men, they were greeted by Marine police who passed on some encouraging news and caused them to call off their search.
And then they told us that we shouldn't go, we should turn back and come in because a lot of guys gassed up from April, Bay and White House and down here to trying to go out there to have a search, and they turned us back. They told us that they pick up the boat 100 miles away from Cayman Island. So we were saying that probably they're going to be in their waters and they will be shored on Cayman Island, and now we haven't seen them.
But after making checks and not hearing anything more from the Marine police, the fishermen say they have become suspicious.
I'm trying to wonder why that guy told us that he picked them up there and nobody hasn't went there to pick them up and bring them back. So we are here just wondering why.
When TVJ News checked with the commander of the Marine Police, she told us the men were reported missing, but that she only learned from our call that there were reports that the men were spotted in Cayman waters. She says that will be investigated. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
And that's the local segment. When we come back, news from overseas.